Yeah, because like those two things are so normalized on mobile, right? On PC, at least you can go, oh, that's a shitty pay-to-win game. On mobile, fucking every game's a shitty pay-to-win game, including Candy Crush, which is absurd, but whatever.
What I don't understand, we have consoles for years. We had consoles for years and years and years, but they cannot replicate those games into the mobile space. That doesn't make any sense because of the power requirements are less than what mobile devices are capable of now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, mobile devices are getting better in terms of like chips and shit.
I don't know if people that play mobile games necessarily want that like AAA experience, because like AAA games you'd expect to play or sit down 2-3 hours, right?
Well,
but like I don't sit down to play mobile games.
I mean, I play mobile games for a couple hours. Take like Sim City and like the Sims game series work fine on mobile. Apparently, so does VRChat.
VRChat Mobile looks straight up looks better than VRChat for the Quest. Like VRChat Mobile looks better than VRChat Quest.
That's because proportionally the resolution is much nicer and higher, and your mobile device. So your mobile device has a higher capacity for power. You compare the two because you're not trying to stream VR displays. You're just trying to play the game.
Yeah.
Okay, are we started? Is this just the preamble still?
Yeah, it's already recording.
Oh fuck!
It's already recording.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
You could have done the whole.
Look, let's give our intro. Hi, we have a special guest this week. Snow, why don't you introduce us to your special guest?
Yeah.
Snow. Hi.
Me? All right.
Yes.
You do it.
You invited.
Molly's her name is Molly.
Yes.
I am bad
Molly.
at this, bro. Where should I start? I don't really like to be in the spot.
What?
What's
the main purpose that we brought Molly on?
All right. Yeah, I guess I can put that way first. So, main purpose is mostly we can talk about like what are you streaming? Because I just know that you stream on Twitch, but not a lot like recently, right? And mostly we talk about ChilloutVR, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
ChilloutVR. So I might want to, we can share like VR experience with her and then stuff. But yeah.
Well, I mainly develop in a lot of other platforms. That's what I do when it comes to development. I don't actually develop anything for VRChat. I haven't really had any experience with development for VRChat. I've been pretty much solo development experiences pretty much every other platform except for VRChat.
But I have a lot of friends who develop Chill Out, Neos, Resonate, etc., etc. Okay, that's cool. That's super cool.
Yeah. I also played pretty much. I have 76 VR games. I have 76 VR games right now. I got from Humble Bundle.
Nice.
I'd recommend taking a look at any of those like small games. Like there's like Arc. There's like this what is it? Hold on. It's like the top of my list. There's a bunch of VR games that you just kind of miss. There's Archangel, Hellfire, stuff like that. Which is a like you're in a mechanical suit that's basically shooting. You're kind of sitting there while it patrols the city and stuff. It's really fun though. You just destroy it. It's like those old arcade games, but you have full range of like view, so you don't feel sick as it peruses down the cities, as it wanders down. There's a nice storyline and ending that's pretty nice. But yeah, I've been going through all my VR games and playing them all.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you say like,
Have you tried the wait, sorry.
what do you mean by develop? Like worlds or avatars or like systems?
So I built a UI system in ChilloutVR. I've built a keycard system. I built a logic tree system. I built I was actually going to take a look at NPCs that can follow you in the worlds that are utilizing the prop system and a mod to the game. So
Nice.
mods are very interesting. Mods, yeah.
Nice.
But I develop things like that. I look at what I learned about the capabilities of a system. I've also done this for vrchat. Like I've learned about the capabilities of what is possible, and I develop things based on that. A lot of it's like creative director work, because I work alongside with software developers or people who are avatar creators or animators or scripters and stuff like that.
Wait,
So I do a lot of work like that.
wait, you have a team to mod like ChilloutVR and other games?
Well, we don't mod, we kind of create things in the game, but there's mods that exist within for the game that we take advantage of. So if a NPC uses MV map following, it follows you in the world when you spawn them. Well, I want to take advantage of that by turning it into an eldritch horror that if you sit still for too long, it will eventually start to transform like a giant monster. There's characteristics you can use like that with like NPC looking you in the eye, following your position, and then you can script it to like stay a certain distance as it talks to you, or maybe pretty much do anything you normally do in video games. I want to create a tutorial NPC, as long as everything is local, and then there's no limit on how many items I can animate. There's limits on syncing for ChilloutVR. There's 40 global syncs available, but they allow unlimited local sync, so just stuff you would locally see, which is fine when you're trying to do a tutorial. Only you need to see the tutorial to stuff. So I can make it push you because yeah, I love what you're able to do in other platforms. These things are important, but I'll get to that in a second. What I want to do currently is make a tutorial NPC that's basically a dominatrix that presses you against the wall and makes it
Let's go.
It's pushing you and instructing you, basically wrapping its arms around you, telling you to hold the gun correctly.
You see,
down, Snow.
This
And
is
I can
why
actually,
people
what I
respect
can do is I can
modders and
have trigger
creators.
points. I can have trigger points that require you to both be holding the gun and holding it in the right positions, and having the gun in the right position in order for it to continue forward. So you can see these as highlights in the game, and then I can just like you have to put your gun like right here next to your camera position, and then you have to aim it in order for it to continue, you know? Yeah.
Okay.
You made like a lot of props too.
Yeah. I made whips. I made a bunch of stuff.
Wait, so you're doing all of this, and like, there's a team for it, but so like is this like a hobbyist team, or like is someone paying you? Like
I was paying Chen for a while. I was financing it myself out of my own personal pocket because they needed a medication. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna pay you so we could do this stuff because I like you, and also because I want you to have this money for your medications. It's very important.
yeah.
Fair.
It's really nice of you,
Okay.
yeah.
Nice.
Plus it's win-win, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like Chen a lot. They're a good friend of mine.
Nice. Okay. Why haven't you developed for vrchat in comparison to others?
Because I listen to my friends who develop. I've watched them a lot. Talk about the process. And in my mind, I can see the cap, the limits, the ceiling, as it were. And it reminds me of when I was lap dancing. That ceiling was very low at VP, Virtual Pantheon. And so it reminds me of that in terms of game development, and I don't feel comfortable dedicating my time to something that's has such restrictions on what I can do. For instance, like colliders, player space detection. There's issues with like the scripting being super unoptimized. In their own like footnotes, they'll say things like it's 500 times slower than just writing something in C, and that bothers me. That I can't have latency like that. That's stupid from my perspective.
Yeah.
I'm trying to foster and encourage more spaces to grow. I was watching this like one video, this dude talking about, the problem isn't vrchat. The problem is the audience and where we sit. Where we spend most of our time isn't here, and it doesn't foster other games that are social and stuff like that. So, which is true. That's a very true statement. If we happen to just like a group of people just migrated for some reason, like say half the community, that game would suddenly grow significantly and get investor interest and stuff like that. So there's a little cart before the horse problem.
Okay, I mean, with these issues said, why do you think people remain in vrchat in comparison to ChilloutVR, aside from, like, not from the creator perspective, we get those points, but from the user perspective, like, what do you think?
Well, there's a couple of things. One, the UI, which is being worked on, but it's still, as far as like what people currently experience, the experience isn't as ironed out as it currently is for vrchat. I mean, it's simplistic to use vrchat, though the UI in vrchat is way more complicated. I'm like, God, I can't find
it. I agree.
That is true.
UI 2.0 is
I agree.
Like, way harder to find when you need it in the big menu for sure.
You guys had it, like it was fine. The UI was nice.
Yeah.
I get the additional features, but the massive menus that aren't segmented and stuff like that, where they're doing tabs and stuff like that. It's like it's a huge chunk, and thank God they put in a search function now.
Yeah.
But the other part about it is so Resonite stays at like 300 people currently. It's about what is the user's experience when they first came on, and at the time when people tried to migrate to ChilloutVR, the main issue was pretty much everything. Like the game instances would crash. There was like massive instability, massive problems. Issues even trying to play the game, and so it ramped down a lot and now stays at 100 progressively throughout the day. So like 100, but it goes up and down, and more people file in and out depending on the night. And so it's just basically that's the main reason why. Then there's also like a lot of friends who are using, so people want to use their VR and stuff like that, and which is understandable. All these things are being developed for ChilloutVR, platforms like it, but a lot of the people who went over to Resonite already knew what they were getting into, and then a lot of those people were already players of Neo, so they already had the temperament to stay. And so that's just kind of how it goes. It's like, is the community there? Yes or no? What was your experience when you first got there, and was it good enough that your friends stayed long enough for you to enjoy? And that's where I kind of hang out there for myself, because I enjoy the development. I enjoy my friends I have over there.
Yeah, that's why I stopped playing Chillout as well, because I moved to Chillout during the big EAC scare, right?
Yeah.
And then none of the servers worked, and so I just was like, oh, well, I guess I'll crawl back to VRChat, I guess.
Yeah. And then
same
they
for me as well.
Yeah. They spent a week shutting down the game to reamp the API in the server, so that way it could be cloud computed and it could function without any issues on this instance retention side. They spent exactly 1 week. I know, because I was keeping track. I was there the entire time. I was actually there for 1.5 years until I started dating a girl, and then I stayed here for a month and a half. Girls make you do crazy things.
Yeah. I mean, what about from then, like when people try to play ChilloutVR and now we're here. Is there like what changed? Like, is there something enticing that would warrant us like to check out ChilloutVR again, or is it still like not there yet?
So, it's almost there. The only main thing is like the UI needs to be updated, but that's being contracted by a third party, and that's basically get done when the third party gets it done. But at the same time, they're working on the game themselves, so that leaves them to completely develop the game while the UI is getting worked on. And that'll be fun because it's going to be customizable UIs. So to answer your question, yes, everything has changed fundamentally. Props are now public. At the time when EAC happened, props were public and you couldn't see the content. You had to hope you ran into somebody. My perspective of telling anybody who wants to play ChilloutVR is this: you don't have to do anything. You don't have to develop. You can hand your assets to me and I can upload it to your account for you. But the thing is like, come with the mindset of, I don't need to touch any Unity shit. I don't have to do any of the stuff I normally would do for VRChat in order to fully enjoy it, because their search function gives you access to everything that anyone has ever made public. And so you can come in there just with the mindset of like, I don't need my own stuff right now. I can deal with that later. I can have somebody else deal with that for me. I can pay somebody $5 to upload my avatars for me. Or for me, I'll do it for free. As long as it's not broken.
Yeah, it's all public now, like prompts, avatars, even like worlds. There's like a lot of search. Like they make it public, like prompts. Prompts is like the main thing for like people just to play around in the world.
Wait, just to explain what props are.
Yeah.
For a second, my understanding is props are like items that you can like bring out and they have functionality, but you can share them between people and you can take it from one world to another, right? Not unlike VRChat where the only thing you take with you
props are your inventory, your public or favorited inventory system of the individual items. Anything, literally, there is no restriction. Anything can become a prop. You can make your avatar a prop. You can make any asset that you have available a prop. So it's all the stuff that we slap onto these.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And we go, fucking, you get your knife, whip. I hope to God that I put this shit on correctly on my avatar versus this was developed by somebody and now it works. And if it doesn't work properly, it's because of the way that's developed. But it's accessible, and that there's actually a benefit of that people don't understand when it comes to those props and assets. The really important thing, which is they don't load in with the players. They're set in a separate inventory, not attached to the avatar. So your optimization of pipeline is reduced. The amount of like toggles and all these things, including the things you put on the asset itself in order to make it pop out, in order to make it do the functions. A lot of those are reduced. For instance, I have the Cyberpunk Malorian gun. It's 5 animations in order to get the pop out and do basically the thing you have it do. It's 2 in CVR. It's 2 animations instead, because the components such as like grabbable, and I could trigger the I could set up the animation to make it spin when you grab it, level. And also I can make it hip attachable. I can put it where it attaches to your hip and then spins as you put it back. And so you can attach it to bones, or you could do all these things as part of components. They don't have to be a part of animation.
So they're not like animations. Okay, that's cool. Because in VRChat, for context, fucking everything's an animation, right? Like getting something attached to your hands. Oh, that's just a bunch of animations. Fair. That's
that is
super
true,
cool.
yeah.
Constraints.
It's like VRChat are restricted to that. Yeah. Where ChilloutVR, it's like
when you said about like the inventory thing, so only when you take it out from the inventory will it start loading in for other players?
Yes, correct. And there's an entire thing on that as well of the security system. So what if a player spawns shit I don't want to see and it crashes me? That gets blocked if you have it off for everyone else. But at the same time, there's actually an underlying
it has
system.
those settings, yeah.
Yeah,
the UI,
it has the security system setting. Which I actually proposed the same thing to Neos back in the day before they stopped having updates, and then now they have updates. So I'll see about pushing that again, of where, hey, I don't want people to affect me when I'm trying to just hang out. Or these colliders and stuff, like a safety system in the game for Resonate is something I proposed a while back, because forced avatar changes messed me up back in the day, because they can do that. They can force avatar change you in Resonate and Neos because it's a gaming engine. And anything you could imagine you can do in a gaming engine, you could do in there.
I don't like it that way.
That feels.
I mean, literally,
would be a little bit uncomfortable for sure. Yeah.
It's
like whenever I wanted to feed my virtual baby chicken.
It's also interesting when you mentioned like whatever you can take and put it in your inventory and just go to another world and it'll still be with you and you can whip it out. It's interesting in a sense that, like, let's say a creator makes a world and he has items in that world, and like it tells you like do this, do that, and then put this in your inventory, and then at the end of the world story, let's say, or adventure, there's like 3 portals. Choose one of the portals. It'll take you to a different world where you have to use the items that you got from the first world in the new world to progress.
I was actually thinking about doing something like that. The other part about it is that it pops up the same way the UI menu does. The thing is once they update the UI and it's customizable, I can enter in a customization with it to basically make it look different and come up as a different sort of UI. With there's HTML or code HTML is what they're gonna go with, so I'll be able to work with that. They're also trying to integrate Lua scripting.
Good.
And so everything is gonna have scripts, avatar, worlds, and props. Now these are in a list on your UI currently. So when you go to access like your favorites of props or favorites of avatars, it's in a list. Now I'm curious if I can actually set how complicated I can make the props. And I'm gonna see if I can push to see if I can have like a auto configuration with a prop or something, like some way to save it, because you can do that with avatars. You can save states of the avatar. And you can switch to them like instantly.
Yeah, that's what I like about it as well. Like you don't have to, like, whenever you search public avatars or props, from what I see, I joined like a random world, and then you took me around, and then your friend has this world, and then there's a UI not your own UI, but the world's UI, and then you can search all the props there. So and then stuff there. That's
okay.
really could add on it. Yeah.
Nice.
And then your friend trapped me in the cage, and I was like, oh, this is nice for me. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, so the harney, and here's the thing about those colliders is really important. When you spawn assets in game in here, you don't have a collider. I don't have a way to collide with you. I don't have a way to affect you, except for the new Fizzbones thing where we can set up contacts and I can touch the contacts and make things happen to your avatar. Which you can also make them only responsive to each other. Like you can set up specific word phrases that aligns with each other, and they'll actually activate only with those specific contacts names. Anyways,
with the tags.
The importance of a collider. When we talk about VR spaces and how to customize those VR spaces, because a lot of the fact is that these worlds in VRChat, and this is why I try to play with other games, is I feel restrictive in here. I feel like I can't change my personal experience when I play VRChat. Because we're in a static world. These are static. You had to have the files. You had to have, and you can only change it in Unity editor. But in ChilloutVR, I was gonna make a maze that you could go to level and level and level. I can have as many levels as I want because it'll be locally synced. And you could be in the cat. The black cat, or as they have it over there, the purple fox, which is actually very different. It tips the hat off to the black cat thing. I appreciate what you did. You know, it's an imitation, but it has also been morphed and transformed to its own like beast of a map. I could be in the purple fox. We're just chilling out, hang out, and say, hey, do you want to play essentially a Pac-Man game with me? And they're like, yeah, let's do that. And then have these monsters that roam this maze trying to hunt you down. And you're just running around going, nope, don't touch it. Like, and then going getting this sphere. I could set that all up within a prop confines. And you now are playing Pac-Man with each other. You're now jumping to different rooms that have been set to randomize and lock position in different places. You can layer these things on top of each other. So if I was going to do the puzzle map, the physical location would be the same. Like you'd be physically in the same level, but it would be really big and you'd be running around and chasing it. But it'd be a different layout every time you ascend to a different level. I can have these NPCs that can hold guns and shoot you and kill you if you have the death mod or the PvP mod. There's a lot of personalized experiences, but I could also have the NPC basically remote controllable. So you could drive them, move them around. And so then they also can have a movement parent which carries you around. And you could just run, you could just basically remote control your own little servant that's carrying around, or it has a chair and you're sitting on the chair and it's moving around.
They're just gonna move you around.
Yeah, which they have cars anyways, but if you're that kind of person who sort of has that god complex, which I do, you want to have that throne of people that's just moving you around, yeah. Like,
nice. Well, it seems like in terms of content, or like the variety of content in ChilloutVR is a lot more, or possibly a lot more than VRChat, and they've fixed a lot of the stuff, and I'm assuming the servers, they've adjusted it a lot in case another exodus happens from VRChat.
Well, they're cloud computing right now, and so the theoretical threshold on rooms. So an instance like this, let's say this instance right now, say we're all now optimized avatar. I don't know why we would, but we'd have to just for the sake of it. It's possible to get up to 700 people. They don't know that the voice VivBox could handle that many people yet. It could handle a lot. They just don't know that it could handle 700 localized voices. I don't know that there's any audio system that could handle 700 localized audio sources overlapping each other, but they also were working on channel for the voices to, I guess, segment out the load and bandwidth. But that's the current thing, is like you could have a whole instance of 700 people in a single instance. There's a single world where everybody's in there, and it's already gone past 100 in a single instance, and it works fine if you use the safety settings. Like you start to they had earmuff distance. They have all the stuff we have in here. They had that beforehand, a good portion of it. There's avatar distance where you don't load in the avatar, stuff like that, so you can lower your distance so you can see people. They had a lot of the features before VRchat did, some after. There's the drone, stuff like that. And so there's a lot of ways to like make sure your performance stay up, but instances can handle a lot.
The about the server thing.
So that sounds like a challenge.
Yeah, challenge.
Which means hello viewers. All of us need to get into Chillout like right now and like stress test their servers.
You should.
Like a billion different pieces.
I mean, I could spawn a bunch of NPCs and test it too, but it doesn't have the same thing as audio source use, or like VivBox chat system use, or like the actual player's network server system. It uses the prop server system. But yeah, I'd love to test it to see if we could just have like a giant carnival festival in one spot and just like.
No, that sounds really good.
Everybody is Kyle the robot,
stuff, right? For sure. Oh.
But the question is like, that's one instance. That's one instance that can handle up to 700. But what about like that different instances with different people? So like, let's say 1,000 people comes into real time, comes into ChilloutVR, and like that. Let's say there's 100 instances. Will it be able to handle it?
Yeah, say there was a surge of like 10,000 people at this given moment. They would see the influx of people. Hopefully, it would spill in over time, because like there's nobody in the world who could be like, all right, cut on servers. Like it's like I have to update the servers. I'd have to, but in the instance of like they knew 10,000 people were coming because they had a convention ready. They have cloud. They have set up their network systems to be a cloud resource sharing system, so they can just instantly put on as many servers as they want. And cloud servers are pretty quick to install, because what they'll do is they'll replicate your environment onto that new server as it adopts those resources and shares that resources with each other. So they're cloud sharing environment now, so they can handle as many people, as many instances, as many resources as possible. But the resource requirements are a lot less than normally anticipated here. When VRchat has influxes, it has a lot of problems because of the way that they design their network and their servers.
That is true.
In ChilloutVR and Resonite, they've worked a lot on that because they've seen that happen before. That was why they spent a week rebuilding and integrating the new API, which allows for cloud computing of servers and resources to share across those entire servers, but also rebuilding the database to handle all that stuff too, to handle where the information goes, that kind of stuff.
Nice.
Oh shit, sorry.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Well, I mean, considering that they can
Now-
start dynamically
it's easy.
adding servers, but the question now would be, if 10,000 people suddenly came in and they can do that, so all is good. But the obvious question after that
Yeah.
is, where are they getting the money from to do that?
Oh, that's a
So
good
they
point.
have an investor already. They started to get they got a particular investor that allows them to retain creative control, which allows them to have the mature content DLC still. The fun part about that DLC is when you have your tags and stuff in there. I have my not safe for work tags on my avatar stuff. A Quest user will never be able to see it unless they mod their own personal experience. Mind you,
I see.
it's not quite it's a complicated whether it violates the terms of service, because the way that CVR checks to see if you have the file is literally a yes or no, a Boolean yes or no. So it's like, do you have the file that allows you to see mature content? Yes, no. And which I was talking to Hordini, which is somebody you can also talk to as well. I was talking to them. They were. I was arguing like it technically isn't modifying the game, because if the code is available and you're just providing the file to be there, are you actually modifying anything, or are you just inserting a single file, which the game normally has anyway? I'm like, I don't see that as modifying it, because you're not making it behave alternatively than it normally would. Like it's complicated.
Yeah, I
But Quest user won't normally, under normal conditions, ever see your stuff anyway, so you don't have to worry about a Quest user going all in. Whoa, look at those. They'll just see the Kyle robot thing. Like,
Well, I mean, speaking of Quest
That's not
users,
very uncomfortable. Yeah.
is the game on Quest?
not yet. They're working out how to do the encryption, and hold on one second. I have exactly what they're working on for a Quest. And then once they complete it, they'll have a beta. I'm in the beta group for ChilloutVR, so I'll see when it goes live, and I'll be playing in there. I'll get my
Nice.
Quest 3.
Okay, so you're gonna
Quest
be
3 and
the
Quest 2.
beta test.
Yeah, I'm a beta
Decent,
tester.
that's it.
The other thing was the voice system. So they were trying to integrate Vivox as part of Vivox is their current voice system they use into the Quest. So they're still working on developing that for that environment. Once that is complete, they will do every other system that they have, like the safety systems, all that kind of stuff. But they're trying to mainly figure out the encryption thing. So that's the only thing that's delaying it. But there will be their goal because of how much things they can control of the shaders, of the engine, of the game itself. They can set maximum capacities for avatars, and the parts that exceed those those maximum capacities, don't load. Not all of it doesn't load, but if your avatar, for instance, has like a poly limit that exceeds the threshold they set, then your mesh won't load, which would be invisible and kind of load. But if certain parts of your avatar were like that, then certain parts of it wouldn't load, and so you could still get the entirety of it if it was below a certain amount. And then they're like, okay, we need to lower this threshold. But they're testing it to get it as close to desktop experience as possible. So they're trying to make it so that there's no difference between the desktop version and the Quest version without lowering the desktop version. They're trying to push the hardware as hard as they can, see what are the limits they actually have to set, or is there any limits they have to set at all? Might not be. And but if they do need to, they can. So they also have in their system automatic shader converters. They set it up to automatically convert the shaders to working shaders for the ones that didn't work with single pass instances. Some of the things need to be re-uploaded again, because they just weren't convertible. I have an avatar that converted to standard shader when that process happened. It was fine. My avatar looks fine. It just looks funny, or than it normally looks, because this is the avatar I use over there, and it looks different than this when I go use it. But I had a version I uploaded already with the latest version of Unity, the latest version of Pyomi shaders, all completely fine, because the latest version of Pyomi shaders uses single pass instance anyways, so it's completely fine. It's not a big deal. They were also looking at shaders to say, well, is there any fix that they can apply so you don't actually have to worry about not capturing as many shaders as possible to make them work. And so that was the whole process. That was the Unity 2021 thing that even VRchat's doing now. That a lot of people didn't. That a lot of people like me who had to deal with CVR transitioning to 2021, which now this is Unity 2022 is the beta version. What VRchat did, and this makes sense because they have so much content, is they just allowed Unity just allowed them to enable both versions of rendering, of single pass instance rendering, which is through one camera and renders the whole scene. And we use in here single pass stereo, which renders it from both cameras, VR cameras. And so in desktop, everything is fine because it's just one camera. Everything is perfectly fine in desktop. And in VR, you'll see things behave funny, look funny, and stuff like that until somebody re-uploads it. They just have to re-upload it with the new shader, and there's people who have developed shader fixes. But over there, because they use single pass instance now, there's a benefit of 50% up to 50% performance gain because they decide to stick to that way. VRchat won't gain that benefit, understandably so, because there's just too much that would be disrupted by doing that. But it's essentially you end up with less performance over here because of that. That's the benefit of doing it. When you have such a small community, you can do it. There's not much that'll be sacrificed, as it were.
Yeah,
that's understandable.
I guess the benefit of ChilloutVR before and now is that, sure, it's, let's say, definitely not as alive as VRchat, for example, but because of that, let's say, negative, the positive is they are, let's say, technologically speaking, advancing at a much rapid pace than VRchat. There's the encryption part of it. There's a lot to CVR development that's happened that ensures just new technology that we need. The VRchat mindset of developers that I've heard a lot from developers. This is what pushed me away from developing stuff in here, because I've watched my friends develop things in here, and their soul get destroyed by rippers, by people who just took the content, and they would never get back on again, and that broke my fucking heart. It still breaks my heart to hear Topper respond that it's just not going to happen. They're not going to do anything.
Rippers.
What can't you rip and chill out?
At this current moment, there's not a single person that has ripped anything from VRchat, as far as I know. There's been attempts. There has been. We take the normal tools and we try to utilize it. We could try to utilize the decryptor tools and stuff like that to see if we could manifest an easier WoW. But at this current moment, there isn't nothing. And even the one time that somebody was trying, took them a week and they kind of gave up, but at the same time, that way has actually been patched as it happens. As people point out bugs or issues, that stuff gets patched more frequently because it's a smaller community, so as issues get highlighted, they're pretty responsive because it's not like you have a flood of tickets. But
Yeah.
my perspective, if they actually manage to achieve the Quest identical experience, that user base will take care of itself. I'm not worried about a CVR having a loyal user base eventually. That's just a matter of time. There's going to be Lua scripting. These are going to be like
That is true,
StarCraft
yeah.
games. They're going to be like
It's
Command
like
and
open the
Conquer games.
floodgates, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a friend who loves Command and Conquer. They have a different game that's called Dominates and something else, and they have a lot of the assets from that thing, the project they made, worked on. Correction to what I said. And so they have a lot of the assets. They have a lot of stuff that they worked on. So we're gonna have our real-time strategy games in there almost instantly as soon as Lua is available. Because Lua made StarCraft. Lua is StarCraft. Lua is the reason why StarCraft is so easy to make game modes for. That way you're first person, where you're having these stories, these environments, these custom experiences in StarCraft. A lot of people go back to Roblox, but Roblox is very diverse on like what kind of games you can make.
Yeah, they
the
are.
thing about that as well is that people who made games for StarCraft, who made games for Roblox, whatever other games use Lua, there's a lot of them. I just don't remember them. You can look them up on Wikipedia. They can take all their scripting and you just change the object names and make the game in VR. But you can also take a lot of the experience they have and it's transferable because it's all the same coding language. There's not going to be that much. There's not going to be a huge gap for people who know Lua. But it also has a C to Lua converter where you can use some basic C objects or basic C syntax to code, and it'll understand what you're trying to do. But yeah, there's that. There's the encryption side that I find that there's just a whole array of technologies that they're developing that I find fascinating because from my perspective, whenever I work on VR games, I feel like we make the barrier of entry super difficult. We make it so in order to fully experience VRChat, you have to have a desktop computer. That to me is insane. That's really insane. If CVR achieves what they're trying to achieve, that means the barrier of entry is lowered. Technologically, it's lowered. The ability to search lowers the bar of entry as well, because you could basically starting to get to the point where it aligns itself with the easy use of the internet. Like I don't have to know how to program a website to browse websites or have a custom website. I just pay somebody to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess,
And I'm given the files too. Whenever you pay somebody, they give you the file. Okay, go ahead.
I guess by the end of I don't know, you know the timeline better. Maybe like let's say by mid 2024, assuming if they get another investor, everything should be all sexy with ChilloutVR, because the one thing I think that's like from what I'm hearing you so far, like everything's going great development wise, but in terms of marketing wise, they definitely need another investor for that.
Well, they can do marketing, but right now they're not doing any of that. The current investor they have will give them the money to do marketing, because then they could get more investors if they ran another fundraising cycle. Which is what it's called when you get angel investors, or you get a grant or any of that stuff. It's fundraising cycles. They want to hold off until the game is more complete before they actually advertise it at all, before they market it at all. My perspective, the marketing time would be after Quest, but also during Lua era. So like once when they have the new UI and they have Lua and they have Quest version launch, which is also the Pico
Yeah, they're
version,
making
so they'll be on the
sure
Quest and
everything
Pico.
works first. Yeah.
When do you
And
what's
so
the timeline
once they
on that?
launch those, that's my perspective. For Lua, that has a dedicated person in charge of that. I don't foresee it taking too long. My perspective is they're fast. They're really fast, so it takes like a couple months. When they're really nose to grind type thing, it takes 1 to 2 months or so. But I think Lua is a much more complicated thing, so that'll take at least like 3 to 6 months is like the timeline for Lua. I hold the same thing for when you develop in a new environment, because when you're developing Android, it's Android. Quest is a mobile Linux Android version of the operating system. It is a different operating system. It's like redeveloping your whole game. It's gonna take time. My perspective on that's the same for 3 to 6 months. 3 months is the UI update. You can look at their progression through their feedback website, and you could check their completed tasks. But you could see when the progression also through their announcements of when did they add Vivox. When did they start talking about it, and when did they add it? And from those standpoints, you can get a relative how quickly do they develop. My perspective is that they're the fastest game development team I've ever seen. They're going faster than I've ever seen VRChat ever go. They're going faster when it comes to adding these features, when it comes to adding these whole systems. They're faster than I've ever seen. Even Resonate. I've never seen anyone, which was Neos, but Resonate now. I've never seen anybody work this fast. They changed out their API and database in a week. That is fundamentally changing the core infrastructure of your game. That's an impressive thing to do, and the fact that they got it done in a week, that's insanely fast. Vivox Uni 2021 update recently happened. They were on the same version of Unity that VRChat is on now. And then they updated. So the 2019 to 2021, that conversion happened recently. They were talking about it for about 3 months before they did it. They made the jump. So that's kind of how it goes. Lua has been talked a lot longer, and the Quest version has been talked a lot longer. And I kind of figured that, because I'm an IT system engineer. I've worked with these systems. I'm building a system right now to integrate demand management. I have a good perspective on how long these things take. I foresee them potentially being more on the 6 month side, the longer side of this thing, because you have to know with Lua what are the restrictions that you're going to place on it. Because you're allowing people to just basically have a scripting language, and you could sandbox, so you could do a lot of things, but there's going to be a lot of things that people are going to be able to do. So you're testing it, you're doing all these kind of things. It's a lot more work. It's a lot more complicated than just simply even updating your database is a lot more work to figure out, because it's an entire breadth of a coding language, and what are the edges you want to keep in. They have pretty much that there's no crashes on the instances side. Everything stays fine. These are the main systems. Is the UI. The UI is probably going to get integrated much faster, because they have a dedicated third-party team that's working on it. They're going to get that way before they get Quest. So I foresee that within 3 months, once they seal the contract negotiations.
Okay.
Which is that was currently happening, but I thought they struck the deal, but I have no idea. I had to recheck with Nexus, which is one of the developers. There's a couple of developer friends who I have over there. I talked to them. They're pretty open. They'll talk about most things. as long as you're sitting in just to chat with them.
Yeah.
But like I said, about 3 months from now, we should see a new UI. But everything, if you watch the progression of installation of anything, they're really fucking fast. They're super fast from the point they start talking about it publicly to the point they actually install it is like 1 to 3 months. It was like
they talk about it on Discord on their server.
Yeah,
a lot.
And you can see the beta stages and when did the beta launch, and you can see the stages, and it was about 1 to 2 months from talking about it, having a beta, and then launching that beta as a standard version for the Unity variant. And so there's that. There's the CCK updates, which gives you now animation drivers and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
There's all kinds of updates, but all this stuff happens very, very, very fast. They are very extremely fast with everything. Yeah.
So I guess and for enthusiasts, I guess the initial time or like to check out ChilloutVR is maybe by the end of the year or like Q1. And for like for the grand scheme of things, like a soft check it out is like mid next year, and a proper like launch, not launch, more like a proper full package. I guess a realistic time for that would be like end of the year of next year, and with like maybe start of marketing.
I would say so, yeah, especially because when they launched Lua, you still have to remember, I have to program that. Like, it's going to take me time to make the games. It's going to take me time to build that stuff. Yeah. Like, you're not going to have any Lua content for at least a month. And like, because we have all the assets, it's just we have to plug it into the scripting system to make it function. And it's like, you have to build the scripts. You have to write it or manually connect all the nodes and stuff like that. So yeah, that takes time typing or takes time like connecting the nodes. Like, resonates like that. I've done that.
I guess for what I just said like is for creators, not for like normal users and whatchamacallit and enthusiasts. But in terms of for creators, maybe like a good timeline for them would be check out ChilloutVR in Q1, I guess.
Yeah, as soon as they launch Lua is when I would say developers should check it out, because I know everybody likes having their own representative avatars. There is a lot of avatars over there that basically are similar to what we're used to, and they have a lot of the functionality that we're used to already over there. There's Quakethorn has a army of avatars that are very similar to what we like and stuff like that. And so it's basically, you could use that as a placeholder. Think of it more like a placeholder. These public avatars are placeholders for now until you want to actually upload your own. And I use the converters myself. I use Fluff tools. Once vrchat moves officially over to 2022 and Fluff tools gets updated, then the transition of avatars is just instant. You don't even have to worry about it having issues. I have to worry about having issues because I'm trying to convert it from Unity 2019 to 2021. But the thing is that even when they go to 2022, everything is compatible between 2021 and 2023 of Unity. All those versions are compatible. That's why CVR wanted to move to the new version of Unity, because they could transition in their own gaming engine side, and developers just use that one version of Unity the whole time without worrying about it.
I guess the only thing I have on my mind is so investor money, sure, but do you know anything about their business model? Like VRChat, they have their subscription thing. It's obviously not enough, but what about ChilloutVR?
So that goes to my own personal speculation. And this is going to be personal speculation, but this is what I, from being an IT system engineer and kind of project manager currently, because the current project, I actually have a bit of a foresight of like how I would envision making money on ChilloutVR, but also like how ChilloutVR would make money. So company comes in. They have, say you think of it more like Google search engine. You're searching for these avatars, searching for these props. In a section you could have that's non-intrusive, just like a section you have that says ads or advertisement at the top, and then you just promote whoever like paid their avatars, their worlds, their stuff, and that's just at the top. And then you just scroll down and you see everything else. But the thing is that what I also foresee, because you have the search functions, we already have club events. We already have Blake's business card. You have self-organic advertisement. So you search through these props, you're looking for events or something, you're looking for something, and then you see my poster in there. And so now I have organic eyes on it. And so that's when I mean synchronicity to the internet. We have the ability for organic traffic. You don't have to know me. You don't even have to know that I existed, but you can still see like a Wendy's tweet. You could have avoided Wendy's altogether, but you see in a meme compilation, Wendy's striking back. Wendy's doing this, Wendy's doing that. And now you're hungry for Wendy's. So there's organic ways that businesses will benefit from a CVR, but then there's the paid events. There's the paid instances like Virality would be hosting their thing. Virality becomes much easier because I can share an instance with everybody in the world. They're gonna have groups and stuff like that. Everything we have over here is gonna that we like over here is gonna translate over there because they already had a place for it. There's also gonna be voice calls. Vivox will allow for voice calls. You can call people within the game.
I see. That's cool.
Yeah, you can see right now. It's just that system allows it to happen.
So if we're in this instance right now and somebody's in like the Great Pug, I can just open the UI and just call someone over there, and the voice will happen.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. That currently is in a thing right now. It has a placeholder, and you can see where they're gonna where they have it in the UI. That was in the makings plan like a while back, but they needed a system to handle it. Vivox handles it.
It's like better than ChilloutVR. Better than VRChat.
Okay, if that becomes a thing, we need to make one episode of this where we just like call everyone that's in a private instance on a friends list. See what they're doing.
Yeah, we just put it on speaker and we hear the ERP.
Knock, right? You fucking hello?
Like, actually, we talk about this like in we talk in like a VRChat should do this on their website or in the game kind of thing, right? They should. It's just a small thing for like they allow like
there should be some way for me to communicate with my friends on VRChat when I'm not in VR, right? It's kind of shit that I have to add them on Discord.
We talk about
VR.
10 episodes back.
200 letters.
Yeah. We're like, fuck. And then ChilloutVR are gonna start it first.
Yeah, I have my phone. Like Frosty's not like he's out with like Fig, and I'm like I call him like, hey yo, where are you? I'm at the Great Pug. Come here, come on.
That would be better though. Like ChilloutVR official website, and then you can call. Not call, maybe message at least, like your friend in the game or something. Yeah. Like, even in the game, it's already good enough.
Send a request or a message, right? Which is ridiculous. Like I should be able to just send my friends random messages. Yeah. Like, look, I have a friend here. If I want to call him a fucktard, I should be able to.
Yeah, you have to send invite or request invite to send just a message in VRChat. Like it doesn't to be in its own thing, which is I don't know why they didn't do that.
Yeah, but
there's a lot of things that VRChat does that confuses me when it comes to the fixes, air quotes, that VRChat has implemented. A lot of them are done in a logical way. Like it makes sense logically why they did it.
Yeah.
But it's not very personable. And what I mean by that is like, for instance, the colorblind system in here is a filter.
Oh yeah.
It filters between different versions of colorblindness. That's not how colorblindness works, because it's you have radiance, you have ratio because your color receptors, the little things on the back of your eyes, there may be more or less of certain receptors for certain colors.
Your different degrees
but
of
you can
fuck,
still,
yeah.
Yeah.
And so with mods, they used to have a color sliders to adjust the colors, make it more or less.
Yeah.
and-
It's like they crank it too much if it's like in the VRChat.
And in here, for instance, you have mirrors, but if you try to grab your mirror in here, it'll instantly snap to a position. It snaps to
That
the
is
center
true.
position. In ChilloutVR, I can grab the edges. I can grab anywhere part of that mirror, and I can move it around. I can mess with it. I can hold it.
Oh yeah, you just do this, right? You just do this, and it is
You can
the
make
camera
it
is just
smaller.
there. Yeah,
and
that is
so
really that's
there's-
what's yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just finished.
Yeah,
I'm just
a lot
interested
of it's
on
just
the
the
camera.
more personalized, personal experience. And that's what I was talking about with worlds and props and how I can make. Because that's the whole part about inventory systems. Instead of it just being isolated to my own personal avatar, we now have personalized experiences I can share. I can share this with you, and so we can make these experiences. I spent so much time literally just climbing an escalator again and again. Like we spawned this escalator,
Yeah.
just to climb it all the way up.
Yeah.
We did. You have a prop limit of 20, I think it is. So 20, yeah.
I like it. I like it when I like it when like
So now we
when you
have-
favorite like prompts and avatar. There's like for example in VR it's like 50, right? Even though with
Yeah.
VRChat Plus, but in ChilloutVR it's like what 5,000 I think. Like favorite
Yeah,
stuff you
it's-
can like
it's-
500.
Well, that's
Jesus,
it's per set. You can have 5,000 avatars. I think it's 5,000 props. It's like they're segmented. But then I forget. There's two different amounts. There's one amount for when you don't have the paid add-on, which is the
Oh yeah.
hold on. The paid add-on, but you only pay like $10 once. I think that's just for like server storage of what you're trying to like do, because it gives you basically unlimited uploads and unlimited everything, unlocked account. So you pay once, it's once for the rest of your life, $10. Or actually not $10. It's $8. Shit, that was wrong. You pay $8 and you have an unlocked account for the rest of your life. You don't have to pay a monthly subscription because that's not the business model. It's not the monthly subscription. The $8 is literally just hold all that information in their system. The mature content they see to also nip this in the bud is free. You don't have to pay for ERPing.
Okay.
We even joked about that. Like, you had to pay a subscription per nut.
Per nut.
Marmalade being Marmalade being the head developer of ChilloutVR.
That is admirable.
Oh, wait,
Yeah,
what?
so
I don't know about that.
Wait,
this is the thing. This is the thing people don't understand. Like,
For me, I like it, Frosty. Like, come on, man.
Everything's cringe. I'm saying.
wait, but actually, speaking of that, now that you brought it up, so what's the ERP like in ChilloutVR?
Yeah, what's the like in ChilloutVR, I guess.
I can make it much more intricate if I want to. I can make it more responsive if I want to. I can do everything you can imagine, except force position. I can't force position you yet. I'm working on that system. I am working on a leash system where I can actually like yank you and pull you towards me. I want to actually be able to pull somebody towards me. You can do that in Resonate. I want to see if I can translate that a little bit.
What about the DPS?
I wonder if I could use the touch.
Is
The
DPS evolved into ChilloutVR?
All shaders, this is Unity. All shaders that work in Unity work in there. I have the thick fluid system, so it works fine in there. Particles work fine. Everything you have in here works in there. So like DPS is fine. But I'm also thinking about I have a bunch of things on my checklist. Like how can I make DPS better? Because like the dick bend is kind of disturbing.
I am so interested in like
of course.
a friend of yours.
Yes, please.
Shut up! No, wait.
Oh, so King K, you're interested in King K stuff.
Yeah, when I was like, so he had to put something on me, so the item will be like attached to me if I put it on and off, right?
The blindfold trader.
So like, the blindfold trader thing. So I really like about that. So if it's like there's a lot of like BDSM stuff as well, but it for me it doesn't work. It doesn't like force force how should I say this?
Attachment?
It's like make your avatar force like position or something
position?
on that prop itself. Yeah.
So you're saying you want to be like you want to be like split open. You want to be like on one of those things.
Yeah,
like,
when they put like tags on me like an item or something.
Sorry,
and then when I go to that prop, when I go to that prop with a tag that they put on me, they can force me
in your arms and legs,
which is good.
Our live audience is having a fun time.
So and stuff like that where we actually get locked positions is something that's going to happen later. A lot of it's like in the works because you have to make it. So the way VRChat has it was made. This was made for why our bodies can be constricted in certain positions. That was made. You have to have locked positionings integrated into the game. The Final Arcade thing still works. I had to buy it and try it to see if I can get the avatar to be Final IK position. There's ways to fake it. You duplicate the arms, you duplicate the stuff, and then you in Blender shrink it to like 0. So you have duplicate fake arms, as it were. A lot is possible. You could have like an entire sex engine technically. Which will only have 40 syncs because you're trying to sync with.
I can see it happen, yes.
Down snow, into oh my god.
Shut up.
The thing with the mature content DLC that is really important, and this is something that will differentiate CVR from VHS. VHS is never going to have this. They never intended to have this. This is never going to be a thing. Their goals and their goals are far beyond most ERPers, okay? They're trying to become Rec Room.
That is true. The whole point. Yeah, they're trying to become Rec Room, which is like more wholesome.
The Archer's trying to become Rec Room. So go to ChilloutVR to fuck is basically what we're saying.
Yeah, and the thing about the mature content DLC that's really important is this is the only way that games that are on Steam can have mature content or pornographic stuff, because a lot of people don't understand that Honeypop has to have a DLC.
Yes.
Every porn game that's on Steam, in order for them to abide by the terms of service of Steam, has to have a DLC.
Yeah.
There is no way around that. But what's also important is that you can actually set worlds as not safe for work worlds, and the people who don't have the mature content DLC or can't have it, so they listed their age correctly and they're underage, they can't join that world. They won't even see it in the list.
They can't join.
They won't see anything. That's actually been fixed. So now people who don't have mature content DLC cannot see any mature content stuff in their list, in their favorites, anything like that. Yeah, I need to test it.
Aw, then I gotta buy the DLC. No. Yeah, it's fine.
Wait, no,
I-
the DLC is like
personally-
It's a good reason. Yeah, it's free. It's a good reason. Yeah.
It's completely free, but it's also required. We couldn't have this stuff in the terms of service that CVR has. Now, in the terms of service, CVR has 2 rules. One, this is funny. Just because your character is 4,000 years old, if it doesn't look older than a child, it doesn't matter. That's not allowed. Not safe for work.
Yeah, alright.
Not safe for work lollies are
That's
not allowed
3,000
in the
years
terms
old.
of service. Yeah.
Oh, wait.
And then
How
the
about,
other thing,
this conundrum?
yeah.
If someone looks like an adult, but the creator said this person is, I don't know, 10.
This person's
What
Like
happens then?
17.
Yeah.
Like let's say
It really
a creator,
depends.
let's say a creator made your avatar or made Snow's avatar, but the creator
Yeah.
said this avatar is 10 years old.
It doesn't matter what the creator says. If the character looks like an adult, that's all that matters.
Okay.
It's not about.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, like, that could happen. Like, for instance, the Bleach characters, all the Bleach characters
They're
that
like all
are
16,
part
right?
of the school
17.
are 16, 17. But the dude in
That is
Bleach
true.
looks like an adult, and nobody's gonna be like, that's weird, bro.
Oh yeah.
Bleach is also like 5'8" apparently, but he looks like he's 6'7". Sorry.
I know, he's so tall.
Yeah. He looks like 20, 30.
He's so commanding. But if you had,
Okay,
if you
yeah.
had a
he's-
naked
he's one of
version
the
of
tallest
that
characters
character,
in the whole
nobody's
show.
gonna-
But he's supposed to be
fuck.
under 6 feet tall. But there are characters that are whatever. It's just
Yeah.
But if you had like a character that looked like Chris Redfield from Resident Evil 8, and you're going, that dude's
he's
17,
actually
you're
a
like,
12-year-old
damn.
given steroids.
Yeah. I'm like, no.
Raised
like,
like,
Jesus,
I
yeah.
don't know.
it's
HGH
about the
and
aesthetics. Yeah, it's about the aesthetics. Now, mind you,
It's about the aesthetics.
the other part about this in the TOS, the actual game TOS, is that me as a content creator, I have my whip, I have all my stuff. I marked it for not safe for work, including my public avatars. To have not safe for work and public avatars. I can share these things with you. My private avatars, I can share them with you, and they stay private. I can still share them with you. All that stuff, shareable. And send, like the stuff I sent to you, the little fluffy, the squishy, that's actually private. The one I sent to you, that's still private on my account, because the only people who can have that are people that made me in ChilloutVR, and I'll share that with you.
Yeah.
But
Oh, I see.
as a content creator, my main thing in the TOS is I have to make sure that when I give you a not safe for work thing, I know that you're over 18. I have to do my best.
Yeah.
So
that is
all
true.
the clubs and stuff can carry out their business, no interruptions. They can post all their stuff on socials. They can make videos on Pornhub and Fansly and all that stuff. And CBR will never do anything about it. I've already had these conversations of like, can I make porn in private worlds and post it? Specifically that wording. Because I wanted them to dead set just tell me. And they said, yes, you can do that. Yes, you can make content on social media. And make and publish it and promote it as much as you want. It's completely fine.
As long as you put the name of the game or something, maybe. I don't know.
No, you don't even need to do that necessarily.
Oh,
The
okay.
thing is that if you make not safe for work content, I'll tell you this, like, you make not safe for work content, even if you're in private worlds, because of the way that the game works in VRChat, they can send a bot to join you and see that you have the not safe for work assets, and then eventually get flagged. Blair's had that happen where Blair had a bunch of avatars just gone, completely gone, not safe for work. They never were not safe for work
In
in
VR
Publix.
chat? Oh, fuck. Yeah.
Yes, in VRChat. They got a suspension. They're back, but they lost so much of their avatars and stuff like that, which is disheartening. But if you post things online, you say you have the same name, but you don't, and you claim to be on CVR, but you don't have a CVR account, I will tell you that CVR will confirm whether or not you have an account. So there's been a lot of creators who've been ganked for that reason. Because
it's like they vouch for you.
Yeah. But the other part about it is like it's the same systems we have in here over there. You can convert your avatars over there. It's not really much of a conversion process if you really want to get down to it. Yeah. All the animation clips, they move over. You don't have to remake that stuff. You'll have to make some of the parameters. That's a little bit of the part. But if you know development stuff, like you had somebody who created your avatar, that's not a big of a leap. Anybody who's made animations can make them again. Or parameters and the animation and the animator, but those parameters should stay there. I've converted a bunch of avatars to myself. The one you saw me in over there was a converted one. I don't have to do anything. I'm pretty lazy. And the
that is true. Yeah, you didn't change much.
Work. No, it didn't change anything. Actually, it's identical to the one over here. You can set up animation sequences. The clothing still has the animation clip that it comes off and stuff like that. All that can happen still. Yeah. I've set up all that stuff with controlling Kincaid's avatar. It's in the name of the avatar now that changes it. All of those sequences that we have to do in the animation clip, same stuff you do over here. So any creator who's made anything can make it identical CVR avatars. So if you're in the porn industry, you have a dedicated creator, most likely. You have somebody you're paying to do these things. And so what I don't understand is like, you should, if you're risking your fucking money, you should hedge your bets and make sure your shit is working over there or any other platform at all that is okay with it. Resonate is okay with you making adult content in the privacy of your own spaces. The difference for ChilloutVR and Resonate is you can, as the creators, the developers, they can never join your instance if it's private. In VRChat, they can no matter what instance you are in.
Yeah, they can force instance to be private.
Fuck
I've seen it happen before, so
I promise I don't trust me with that much power. I don't trust the developers with how much I know about them.
Yeah, I don't trust them either.
I'm joking, by the way. You're not pervert. At least I don't think.
No, they are perverted. I know a lot of. Well, they are definitely perverted in VRChat developers.
Juicy intel.
Yeah, they have a lot of videos.
Don't dox yourself.
I'm not doxing myself. I'm doxing them. Like
they might come watch this, and be like, "Uh-oh."
I don't really.
What are the odds?
Now here's the one. We went back to what we were talking about, like things that are necessary and stuff like that. In my personal perspective, you may, and the thing is, like, Chill Out eventually might have a way for you to rip stuff, and that might get patched out, it might get fixed. Stuff happen. You could still do GPU ripping, but if you've ever done that level of ripping, you might as well make a fucking avatar at that point. Your GPU ripping, you might as well make shit. Like, unless you're specifically looking for textures and meshes, like. And then having to re-put that shit together, like, is a pain in the ass. The fact of the matter that Tupper is admitting that they're just not going to try to stop it bothers me a lot more. It bothers me a lot, and it should bother a lot of people and creators a lot, because the thing is, like, in security and in development. It's not about whether or not it can't happen, because there's always some way to figure it out. There's some way to bypass it. There's a human element that you could try to manipulate. But the fact of the matter is that you still don't give up. You still try. CVR at least is trying with their encryption systems. Is at least trying with their security with their intrusion prevention and detection systems.
That's
like,
what matters.
If you're doing malicious stuff on their networks, they can actually cite and see it and then block it.
To make it
remove you,
at least.
Much more inconvenient, much harder to get away with it, much harder to continue, much more annoying, honestly. That's the main thing your goal is as a security person, is to make it annoying, to make it extremely
they could also do like a name and shame kind of thing when somebody does it, like everyone knows or something.
But the other parts about this stuff is like they're trying, and that matters to me as a developer. I don't want to see
at least they did something.
I don't want to see my assets just that I'm getting paid for just floated around. I don't want to see like
that is true,
all the stuff happening. And we already started talking about like ways to secure your own assets. We were talking about that. I was talking about that with Hawkeye. We were talking about ways to secure your own assets that you technically could insert a mod that actually makes it so unless you have the mod and you have permissions and you like somebody like were to share it, but it was a one-time key that you inserted into the mod and it checks the server to see if the key is valid or not. The avatar could look like
that's really good. That's
and
really good.
If I'm an asset owner and you paid me to share one of my assets with you, I could share it with everybody. I could share it. I could transfer ownership in the game. Those systems are set in place. Once the website gets updated, you'll be able to do that. Oh, that's the other thing. The website needs to be. That's the last thing. That's something they definitely need to do. They have somebody they hired for it. It's just it takes time to develop websites, especially with the integrated systems like they have that controls the game functions, like transferring ID ownership. But
I don't even know how
share something I share with you. So like it's just yours. I could share with you my demos, for instance. Private demos that are like
not the full thing.
Yeah, and you could do that like as a creator. You could also set it up to be a bot where this bot account does it for you as well. But that's kind of an important thing. Sharing within the game and in their website is like that's so phenomenally important that people don't understand. Like being able to try before you buy. You know how much money I spent on the assets and avatars? And I was like, thank God EMM was there because I would have been so fucking annoyed if I had bought an avatar and the shit was awful. Like I was able to have those public testing ones, but why should I go to a specific world when I'm just trying to see if an avatar's good? Why do I have to know these things? Why do I have to know all this stuff? Why do I have to be aware of anything? Why do I have to know how to develop in a VR social game? Why do I have to know this in order to fully enjoy my experience? Like that's insane for me. We're just used to it because we're used to uploading assets. But the thing is, I could upload an asset to your account for you with just a key that only lets me upload. I can't even delete stuff if I've uploaded it to your account. But it allows me with just the username and your key for content, allows me to upload stuff to your account. That's also a phenomenal.
That's good.
Great thing. I don't have.
Yeah, like you don't have to like. Yes, that is.
It's like
so
a
good.
like a
that is so good.
like a Twitch stream key. Like you can just give the key and that's it.
Yeah. Stream key. It's exactly like that.
Don't give me your.
Except less pervasive. Like you don't have as much power. You can only upload.
Less
stuff.
pervasive.
You can't actually change anything to their account.
You don't even need to upload.
The person.
You don't even need, from what I understand from you don't even need to upload. You can just like, let's say if you're not the tech savvy and I am, and I like let's say get a character for you and upload it to the game. I upload I upload it to my account and then transfer the ownership to you immediately, like without using your key even. I'm assuming that's how I understood it from you. Right? Hello? Did you die?
Did it crash?
Hello?
I don't know.
You died.
I think so.
Hello? Snow, optimize your world, Snow.
Optimize it.
What do you mean? It's only 12 megabytes. Like, Jesus, man.
Oh,
Your
no, they
real-time lights, man.
Sorry about that.
You're here.
Okay.
No, you're good.
Yeah, so yeah, that is true. You can transfer ownership. What that means is it is somebody else's. If I upload it to your account, it's yours. I can't take that away
okay.
from.
I get it, okay.
But
wait, then what's the
So
point?
You upload only once. Yeah.
What's the point of transfer ownership?
the point. The transfer ownership is like if it's already uploaded onto someone's account, because you're testing it, you're doing all this stuff, you're re-uploading it to your own account over and over again. I don't have to get your key and then re-upload it. I can just transfer it because it's already on my account.
So they can like test the demo first when you share it and then see what's up.
It, and they can see if they like it and stuff like that. So while they're working on their own personal account, transfer ownership just gives you not an additional way to transfer to somebody else's account versus like uploading it straight to your account. If you upload it straight to your account, you have the ability to still edit it in Unity, but you don't have the way to work with it that you would if you upload it to your own account.
Wait, I got a question.
To your own account, so you
if you
wanna and then test it.
if you want to upload to other people's account, do you need their permission to do so, or do you just need
to? Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's it. Like, do you need their permission to like upload with a key on their account?
So if I'm sharing, there's two different things. If I'm sharing with somebody, I share it with you. As long as you allow random strangers to share stuff with you, anyone can share it with you. But you can also turn that off so only friends can share things with you.
So is it like on the website setting for your account, or
it's
is
a
it
website
like
setting? But if I'm transferring ownership, that functionality is not available yet. But if I'm trying to upload to your account using the current method that's available, I do need your username, but I also need your key that's in the website. I cannot upload to your account without that.
So you can't share it with other people when they didn't know about it, as in like, oh, I want to give something to you, as in like an asset or something in the game, you know. So you can't make that yet. All right, got it.
Yeah, but I could. All I need is your username in order to share something with you. As long as you allow random people to share things with you. If you have that setting off, new users who create a new account will have that off by default currently. So if I try to share my little squishy with somebody, I can't do that unless they turned it on. So random people like dildos or something.
I'm gonna do that. Oh yeah, I just installed it not safe for work mature content on like ChilloutVR, by the way. Never mind. Go on.
My recommendation for playing ChilloutVR or any social VR games is to treat it with your mind as an empty cup. Forget that you spent years on VRChat. Just get that out, because at the same time, like any game you play, like, do we do that? Do we just go, this isn't the same as like my RuneScape account when I'm playing Township Tales. Like, it's like I have more functionality in RuneScape. I'm like, you don't mentally do that. Most of the time we mentally like us it out and come at it with a fresh mind, at least from my perspective.
Yeah,
we do
like try not to compare too much with VRChat, right?
Yeah, we should always do that. But at the same time, with that in mind, you should come at it with an open hand, completely empty as well, because like don't try to upload your avatars for the first thing you do. Like when we played VRChat originally, like when I did back in the day, which I've been playing this since 2018. I didn't upload shit. I just played the game and went to like these public avatar worlds and be like, hey, let me just borrow this for a while. And then like I had no expectation of ever having a personal avatar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I bought a lot recently. It's like much recently is when I started buying assets and stuff like that. And that's the same perspective everybody should have when going into these new environments. It's like, stop trying to upload your own stuff first. As the first thing you do, you'll just enjoy what's already there, and see if you like
just
it.
explore
Like if you
first,
like it or be an explorer, be an adventurer. You're just pretend you're playing D&D, you know.
I was about to say that. For me, like I treat every new game as in like as an RPG, because you just explore every nook and cranny if you can and see what's up. That's what's good mindset is for like every time you want to try a new game, not even VR game, but even like desktop games. It's really good mindset to have.
With that said, though, like, so what's like? I guess I'm assuming there aren't many people playing ChilloutVR. So the question here is, what's the good times to like try ChilloutVR, like in a day?
Normally it's the weekends. There's a lot of parties, but if you're trying to chill and vibe, there is like 100 people. There's like 300 plus people. It's like I can't remember exactly the numbers. It's like you have a constant number of 100 throughout the day, but people go in and out. Like people stop playing, and then new people come on. So that's
I actually track that. So mostly on like not weekends, is weekdays. Most European will play the game. Yeah, most European will play the game. So you have to look at European time zone and then blah blah blah. Or you can join the server, Alpha Interactive, I think it's called, and then you can just chat with a couple of people. Hey, does anybody want to get on with ChilloutVR with me and whatnot? It works for me before. Like I chat with a couple of people, and then I join a world. Like this one back then, like 2000. I think I tried it on 2001, 21.
Oh.
And one of the developers joined in as well, just because there's around like 20 people in the instance, and I joined it when it was like 7 people, and then it gets it gets on with a lot of Europeans start to join on like 2 or 3 a.m. my time, and then on 4 a.m. a lot of Europeans join in as well, and I was like, it's not even weekend, so yeah.
Well, the thing is just that they will, like, if you just chat in Alpha Blend Interactive, people will see it, and then they'll, because they're constantly active in there, and they'll buy.
Oh yeah, I am proud of it. I genuinely respect the community in the server. Like they talk about stuff non-stop.
Yeah. They're talking about the future. They're very hopeful of what's going to come. They're very interactive. Like, if you want to meet developers and stuff for ChilloutVR, and I mean like content creator developers, there's Namki, who's in the server, who makes worlds. There's
I know him. I met him.
Yeah, Namki is he's such a good dude. He's fun to hang out with, but he gets really into his projects. Like he is dead in
he's busy. He's busy.
I've gotten chances to like explore his worlds with him and like hang out with him, like have a real conversation, especially when I mention Voyager. I mentioned one of my favorite Star Treks is Voyager, and the dude starts working on and invites me to a Voyager exploration map.
Oh shit.
It starts as a simulation. It starts as a simulated like event. You're confronted in a shuttle with the I think it's the Klingon bird of prey. Is the green. And so or it's the warships. Anyways, so they attack you or they explode, like, and your ship gets knocked out.
Okay, that's the good
for obvious reason. Yeah, and so then you have to figure out the little like sequences to call for help and do all the things, and then the Voyager comes and picks you up, and you get to explore the entirety of the Voyager ship. And
That's really good.
That was, I saw the pictures from that. That was some of the happiest moments I've ever had, was that I could just enjoy that with my friend. One more thing on the development side, in VRChat and VR, it's really hard to develop without like things starting to lag, things starting to crash. Even with my extremely powerful system, like there's a software like or barrier that stops it from fully utilizing my equipment. But then it'll start to have issues. Like it'll start to have issues of like crashing Unity and stuff like that. It doesn't like to play it. I've been on even lower powered hardware, been able to both have Unity and ChilloutVR. I actually used to stream where I had, at one point, I actually had ChilloutVR, VRChat, and my stream going at the same time because I was listening to and watching a club event happening.
Nice.
Yeah.
In VRChat. It's like I've been in this community for a really, really long time. I've been working and uploading my own avatars. I used to upload stuff before there was the mass Gumroad account stuff, like where you had these mass assets that you had prepackaged. Yeah. Even during the years where they were transitioning to becoming mainstream, there was times where you had to make so much stuff. You had to create the animations. You had to join it all together because the content creators hadn't put them all together neatly. They had made it, but you had to do a lot more work still. But back in the day when there was MMD models was the big search when you were trying to find something. You would search,
that is true.
Black Butler MMD, or you would search a character MMD model, and you would go to the DeviantArt, download the file, upload the PDS or PTS or something file into Blender, then you would convert it with cats, and then you would make all the animations yourself. All that stuff was like, I remember those days. So I've been doing and working on, and I used to make stuff for VRChat a long time ago. But again, it goes to the whole like limitations and the whole people. If I make stuff,
there's limits.
People are gonna just take it. That knife is actually a bought asset. That knife that I have in there, the stiletto knife, is a really nice and bought asset. Nobody's taken it out of the game. Nobody's ever like, hey, I managed to take it, because I still hang in the circles that I would know if somebody had ripped it out of the game. And I've never had that happen to me. And a couple other people were actually testing this recently, because we're not just sitting on our laurels. We're gonna actually see if we can, because just for fun.
Yeah.
Nothing that we've come across has actually been able to do it through its automated systems. None of the automated systems work currently. Nothing translates it. Nothing currently decrypts it as a method. The encryption's pretty high end though, so it's like it would take a while to decrypt it.
Yeah.
Especially without the key. If you're trying to decrypt it, it's going to take a very long time.
Yeah, I'd say it's
I don't know what encryption to use. Yeah. But that's the thing is, like, we poke and prod, and we have a bunch of circles that poke and prod. There's ways to crash your Unity in every game that has Unity, but because they have that additional
You mean VR
bundle
chat creator companion thing? Oh, okay.
The ChilloutVR has a bundle verifier. So there's a couple methods of security beyond the whole like settings and stuff. That is bundle verifier is an experimental thing you can turn on and off if you want to. I don't recommend that, especially if you go into Publix. Because the reason is because it's running an additional virtual layer of Unity, running the game in a virtual layer, and so when things load in, it loads it in that virtual layer first. And if that virtual layer crashes, that shit don't load for you. I've had the bundle verifier crash a prob. I had the bundle verifier not crash a prop. It didn't load or spawn a prop. I've had bundle verifier not spawn avatars. I've had that happen before. Mind you, I was running a much lower end system when I did that, but it's basically a virtual system on your computer, stored locally on yourself. So it's like determining based on your resources, hey, does this crash Unity? Yes, let's not load that. And if you want to load it, you can just change it to where you disable the bundle verification for that one person. You're just like, I want to turn it off for you. And now the props and everything will load for them. So as they spawn it in, they'll load if it didn't load before. And it may have just been something that was just too heavy generally, but it works fine. You're able to load it. I've had that where Namki was showing me a prop and then the prop didn't load because of that. So I just turned it off for them and it's fine. But that's the thing is like there's layers that help. There's modding network. The mods are really easy to use. I don't understand anybody who complains about it just because like you get the CVR Melon Assistant. So you get Melon Loader, you select ChilloutVR, you click it, you install it. That's it. It's buttons. You click the button to install it. And then the Melon Assistant, you just check all the mods you want to have. These are all clean mods. These ones have been verified by the group before they get added. And you check all the ones you want to have, and then you click install. And then the mods are inserted. The DLL files are inserted, and Melon Loader works.
That's user friendly.
So,
that's good.
Yeah, it's super user friendly to add mods. Super user friendly. But say you have the PvP mod, which is currently not a mod that's in the Melon Assistant. Yeah, the PvP, you can shoot each other and kill them. I can shoot you dead. How dare you insult my sister? She's my girlfriend wife. How could you? And then you just, you do the it's funny because I can attach actual like props to your hips, so you put them in the holsters, and we can attach them to the holster bones by making a custom bone and stuff like that. So
I like that.
You have a holster that has a bone, and then you can make it attached to just the holster by saying attach to custom bone, and so it attaches the holster. And so now we could do we could do shootouts and like well, I forget what it's called, but you could just meet at noon and then draw.
Just straight shoot them if they have PvP mods. Like when you know they have PvP mods and you do it, you do it as well. You just pull out the gun and just shoot.
Exactly, and you could turn that off, of course, but the thing is, say you want to have that on, you just drag and drop the file, the DLL, into the mods folder. That's it. You don't have to edit any game files. You don't have to edit anything. All the mods are insertable.
That's good, yeah.
They'll work. You don't have to do anything yourself. You will have to edit a text file if you're trying to change the FSR settings, or you're trying to change like resolution.
Yes, I can see that.
Or something. Like you're trying to do something very, very, very specific that affects the game. Yes, you have to edit the files, but that's something you know you're trying to do anyway. So
it's like
that tells you where to go for it.
It's like reminds me of like when the first time Minecraft has mods kind of thing. and then you have to like individually pull up the files, go to like their own files, then the mod will work. But now these days they have like extension like websites, and then for example CurseForge, so you need to, and then you just install it, you just install it, and it works on the launcher, and that's it. Like you don't have to like actually move the files, so that's good. That's really good.
It's sort of like Vortex does that as well, where it's like you click the Vortex version and it inserts it. I've been doing that with CVR, modding the game, so I can have all of the accesses to everything, so I can fully experience the game without having to rebuild it every time.
Yeah, that'll be a pain in the ass.
The official stance of CVR, especially because of the developers, because here's the thing that happened at EAC, even when EAC dropped. The official stance was always going to be that mods are always going to be supported 100% no matter what. That's why even in the game itself, in the same instance, so we're in the same instance, there's a mod network where the mods can actually talk to each other and communicate to each other in the same instance. That mod network doesn't translate to multiple instances, but it does work within the one instance. Totally Wholesome moved over there, and they have their own network, so they don't have to worry about that. But that's where I could communicate to you currently, if I wanted to, with a specific mod. I could send a little text message, hey, I want you to know blah 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 blah. I can set that up as a mod, and you visually see it because you have the mod installed. But it also allows me to find your location, fly to you, stuff like that. If you got me permissions to do that. There is with EAC, they had like 3 developers at the time. Post EAC, they had like 14 developers.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah. That's why the game gets developed so quickly, and it's so fast. There's certain things that developers like me are kind of annoyed that we have to wait, but we're understandable. It's just we want Lua right now.
Yeah.
We're also impatient people because we want to keep developing. It's sort of a good problem to have. Is like, I want to make more stuff. Give me more things. It's like, it's not that I don't want to keep playing it. It's just I want these things to be available so I can have unlimited access, unlimited power. The amount of stuff I'll be able to do with scripting is insane. Like I'll be able to completely make active. I can make RPG stuff. I can make all this stuff. One of the things I did for ChilloutVR was, because it was available as a component, I have the ability to make a bitmap reader. I could right now make an old school RPG game. Don't want to do that because it's so much fucking work to set up each one of those bit value controls, because you have to do it manually for every single one. But I have the capability. I know that it can be done. I just don't want to do it because I'm lazy. Yeah, that's so much work. It's so much work. But once we get scripting, I'll be able to have save states. I'll be able to save your cache. I'll be able to translate a thing easier. I'll be able to make any game I want, like really.
Yeah, nice. What can I take from this is limitless rather than vrchat itself. Like that's what's good about it.
We should have ability to have a database with a save state. I can actually, so if I have my own instances, I can make something like Smite, where you have a lot of database information that tracks how much damage, how much abilities set items have, and then like pathing for that. I could already do a UI. I did that like a while back. I can make Gun Gale Online right now. The only thing I don't know is like how to do buffs and like powers. Like I could do powers through a system, but it would visually be there, but mechanically making it faster is like a different thing. I had to look into that. I had to look into Worlds with somebody. I was going to look into it with Kjoy. they would teach me about how worlds mechanically could work. But I could increase your damage. I could give you special weapons. I can do all that now. Like now, I can make a RPG. But to save the data and store it somewhere in color values or hex values would be a pain in the ass. So I don't want to do that right now. So I'm putting that on hold. But I could make a bunch of games. It's just that without scripting, it's a lot more work. And I came to ChilloutVR to do less work as a developer. Less redundancy. So it's like, stuff like that.
When you did that, and then whenever you want to join in again, everything is resets, and you gotta like do everything again because there's no save data and kind of thing.
Yeah, unless I do the bitmap values, which will translate into a text.
Yeah, the bit
that you can copy and paste. Yeah, you can copy to a notepad, and then you can paste it into your text note that you save or whatever, a Word document. But here's the fun part. Your mods can affect your avatar, your personal avatar, no matter what. However, I can also set it as a switch that if I set up your avatar, I control your avatar, share it with you, I can remote control your avatar and change things.
Alright, that's good.
I can set up the parameters, I can set up the animation scripts that if I were to set up a mod, I mean, that's how Totally Wholesome works. I can remote control user Totally Wholesome, but I can set up parameters to interact with your avatars. Yeah, it's wholesome. It's wholesome mods. The other part about it is avatars can be affected by props. And props can affect worlds. 'Cause how I learned this was I had a key card that was a prop. And I used it to teleport myself to another area of the map. I touched it to a keypad, teleports me. We fixed this, I wouldn't teleport everybody, so it's like locally synced instead of global syncs.
Yeah, that's good.
If you set up the global
if it's global, you just use the keycard and everyone just teleports.
Everybody who's looking at it teleports to that next.
It's like doing a hyperdrive and be like, all right, we're in the ship. Use the keycard.
Yeah. Well, I actually talked about that, like how you could do space battles actually, by making the world move around. That's good. You just make the world move around. By
that keycard concept. Yeah.
Well, no, not with the keycard concept. You're piloting it. But what's happening is the positions are being moved. So it's like rotate. The world itself is rotating with these meshes and objects. Everything else moves, but you actually don't. It's like, but perceptively, everything looks like you're moving. You know. That's good. That's the way to handle space battles like Star Trek. If you wanted to do Star Trek, like Commander on the Bridge stuff. That's how I think. Actually, that's actually how I think most games like that handle that. Is they don't actually move you through space. It just looks like it because everything is moving at the same time. Relative positions, everything moves and is bound to the wider box. I've been on maps that were like 10 kilometers by 10 kilometers by 10 kilometers before. And here's the thing about that. Without props...
They're so big!
Yeah, without props, traveling that takes a really long time. Even with...
A really long time, yeah.
And the reason I know that is because my friend spent hours doing that. But then... I spawned in the PvP ship.
Oh god.
And we rode those gliders across the entire map in significantly less time. I was like, because it boosts and stuff like that. So you're able to go fast. As fast as you set it. So I don't have to go, please God, give me a reasonable method of travel on this huge ass fucking map.
It's good to like, as in, yeah. It's good to, as in, like, if we took that concept to make like a RPG inside of ChilloutVR instance and be like, oh, you have to have some amount of goal or something, and then use that. You can use that prop to like travel faster to do a quest or something. That's really good idea. I like it.
Well, and that's the thing. And when you saw that map, that was what got released recently, was the ability to put in a UI display, basically like pedestals for props. And you can select them and it loads up the menu. Well, the thing is, I can make these obscure names and stuff like completely random, put in the name, and then you can only access it. And basically, I can make it props that are only accessible by you unlocking them. And so now the world doesn't have a holy shit ton of stuff that's loaded in the world itself with all the properties, with all the mechanics. This is just an unlock inventory system that now you have access to because you've unlocked it. You paid for the item. And game, like gold, you spend the gold. And now you can favorite this item that pops up in the menu. And so there's with the fact that everything can interact with everything. Props can interact with the worlds and stuff like that and all that, and can translate into actual like actions. And you don't have to hope that somebody puts a thing in a world for you to enjoy that full world. There's a couple of things that come with that. One, it's factorial amounts of interactions. That is really, really hard to put exact numbers, but it's like to the 9 factorials is what I got so far, but it might be higher than that. Factorials is like, it's like a really big number, really big math. It's like this 1 times 1 times 2 times 3 times 2 to 3, and it's like a set of numbers times that set of numbers. And so it gives me as a developer so much more stuff to play around with and mess around with and do. But as players, you get to enjoy that without me having to know you. I don't have to send it up. And so you get to have those classic personal experiences. Like we have the Knuckles NPC followers. We have these rooms, and this was from the keycard thing. I reasoned that you could do teleportations and just teleport with the room with a collider, and you could just keep doing that. You could teleport to another room, location. But what's also great is you can actually control that other space. So you can like put them together like a mansion that you're puzzling together, and these rooms now all connected. Now they're all
that's good for like for like sex dungeon and stuff. Yeah.
Oh my god.
You can make a custom sex dungeon. You just like I want whips and chains today, but I'm not really.
I can see it happen. Come on.
I'm just like taking like I am feeling the bondage, but not the blindfolds. Not the darkness rooms is like.
Two, I got. So I think we just passed 2 hours, but before the thing.
Wait, really? Fuck.
We did, yes.
Whatchamacallit?
I didn't even realize.
So one question, and then I realized one loophole that I'd like to mention, and then a third question for like all of us, I guess. Since this episode, I guess it's dedicated to ChilloutVR now. The question is in regards to the developers adding that, like in the terms of service thing, not allowing child-like avatars in a sexual way, not just normal one. Is that they added it as their own thing, or they added it as a legal thing? Like the reason why they added it.
It's a TOS, like you could get suspended.
No.
It is also a legal thing. Like Lolly lolicon is not allowed in Germany and EU.
Oh,
It's against the law.
like by lolicon, like you mean like even the fictional, not like the actual.
Yeah.
That's illegal.
Lolicon
okay.
has always been the fictionalized pornography of minor characters. In America, it's legal, technically.
Yeah.
Because the courts have not made it prohibited, because if there's no actual persons involved, no model person involved, there's no victim, but it's also like trying to prohibit bad thoughts is their current reasoning. Because I looked it up, I was like, is that illegal? What is the decisions that we like? Because I was literally fascinated by like, what do they do with that instance in the legal sense? Because that's it's like it's such an edge case of like, do you do anything? Do you not do anything? Because I obviously
where's the borderline?
If you is it a borderline thing? Is it gray area? The actual the standing is this: if you ever used a real model at any point, not allowed. You're not allowed to depict IRL kids as your reference.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
At all. You're not allowed to make 3D versions of children.
Yeah.
Because it's and I mean like realistic 3D versions, because there's no way to distinguish did you use a real model or not. I think I'm not 100% on that, but that was something I looked into because I was like, I don't know the answer to this, because this was like a question of like, because early on, you know, there's some people like, who have lolicon stuff, and it's like I've seen that roaming around, and it's like, is that illegal or not? It's like, I don't feel comfortable with it, but is it illegal? Like, is this illegal? I don't know. It's like,
okay. So I guess the reasoning is because of legality.
In Germany and other countries, a lot of other countries, it's illegal. So that's one reason. But personally, I'm fine with that too, because that's just gross. It's like,
because nothing's real. But aside from that, so the reason is because of the legality of it. That's why they added it.
Legality, moral. You could have either or, but legally it's illegal.
Yeah.
So the loophole I mentioned before it's in regards to this.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay, I see where this is gonna go.
So let's say Snow's avatar. This is like it doesn't break TOS and ChilloutVR. However, we do know that you can resize anything you want and resize any part, etc., etc. So technically speaking,
I mean, you can model mesh
by default, it is an adult. The user chooses to be a lolly in the end.
Then that wouldn't be allowed, because it is perceptive. So that's the thing with the rules.
Yeah, it is perceptive.
Looks that way, and they would go, that looks like a lolly. It looks like you're not safe for work.
No, but what I mean is, like, if a ChilloutVR developer comes and sees Snow's avatar, okay, all good. Then later, when he goes into a private world and like has fun with it and like changes into a lolly by just changing the proportions. I mean, nothing happens.
The thing is that if you changed it to give the look, because if you don't, the thing is like, if you don't know, moderator can't know that you've uploaded a lolly avatar. If you go in your own private instances, no, you've uploaded one that transforms into a lolly, which is uploading a lolly, because you've designed it to become a lolly or violate
to become a lolly.
The thing about that is if you're in private instances, whatever you do in your private instances is up to you. Like, there's no restriction on that. We can't moderate behavior that we can't see. If somebody records this though, and they record you transforming into a lolly.
Wait, I just wait. Yeah.
So what we're saying is, right, don't fuck children in private instances or in public instances. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what
Also
you
don't-
said about the
don't doing it.
That's the point we think you do.
yeah, what you said about the private, like the developers can't see it, so they cannot enforce anything. My immediate thought went,
Unless somebody
police
reports
isn't-
it.
Don't. Why are we
The
trying
police
to
isn't
loophole
here.
this? Please don't.
the police isn't here, so
If
do
you're
tax
in your own
evasion.
house,
Yeah, stay behind the curtain. Yeah.
and you're breaking laws, like you're smoking weed or something. It's not like the police can
illegal.
know
They
that
just
you're
don't
doing
know.
that. It's like
Yeah.
unless
Yeah, it's
somebody
legal.
They don't know that
or
you took
post it on
drugs.
your Facebook
You don't-
page. Like they have
you
to
don't-
know.
Yeah,
about
social
that. That's
media
not a
and
loophole.
such.
That's called privacy. You're
Yeah.
Yeah, but also-
It's called
allowed to get
privacy.
away with crimes. Yes, that's the thing that
please don't
happens
fuck
in the
children,
privacy. Yeah.
Yes.
But the thing is,
Main point that we can take from this, don't
Oh my god. Please don't fuck children. Yeah.
ERP was
I don't.
children or rape children,
So
please.
you're not breaking TOS if you're in a private world. That's what we got in Chill-Out VR.
You can break TOS.
you're
No, you
still
can break
breaking.
TOS.
They just
No,
can't
no,
catch you.
you're still breaking TOS.
No,
You're
yeah,
still
yeah.
breaking TOS. They just don't know it and have a way of enforcing it if nobody
Yes.
reports it. It's like
As long as you don't get caught.
don't get reported, nobody goes to jail. That's how that works.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, this is great.
The
Innocent
loophole
until
is
proven guilty.
literally commit crime.
By the way, okay,
Commit crime
why
privately.
you thought of this other than yeah.
Because
Actually,
he has this
never mind.
weird thing when it comes to
Go ahead,
fucking
no, go ahead, Snow.
fictional content, man. You know
Yes.
this, Snow.
But here's the thing: if you
It's
make
moral.
content, if you make content about this and you show this anywhere, they could still bring down the hammer. Like if they know that you're doing this, even in a private instance, they are still going to remove it. And the thing is, they could see those asset components and actually prohibit it altogether. If you try to even upload something identically to it, they could go, nope.
Yeah.
How do they work around that? As in, like, are they gonna prohibit it first and give you a warning, or just prohibited it and that's it? Or
all the
are they
avatars are
gonna
gonna be like, nah, bro, you can't do that. But they're not gonna
You hear that,
prohibit you
freak?
from uploading content. They're just
You
gonna
hear
prohibit you from uploading a very specific.
I believe in
Now, why do
creators.
you want?
They'll do shit.
Why do you want to figure out a loophole?
No, look, I'm trying to create. I'm
That's
trying to
what I
protect.
I think it was
People's
I think
freedom.
Was it which episode was it? Was it like episode
know.
12?
I think it was 20. It was around 20 something. Wait, no, yeah, 20
It was
something.
episode 20 something.
Yes.
We had a
shit.
big discussion about a similar topic. And did you just run out of storage?
No, I think his headset died. Maybe.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hello.
Maybe.
This has been the ERP podcast. Don't fuck children. Our host is dead. I think.
No one stop trying to break. Stop trying to break the law, asshole.
Look, you can break the law,
But hey,
right? As long as you don't,
At
you
least,
don't care about the others.
Yeah.
at least they're allowed the adult, mature content, and then you can post it with
Yeah.
adult avatars. That's what I. That
So here's a thing on the same lines of what we're talking about, which is like, so you have Maya avatars and you have the booth model
Yes.
avatars. If you take those avatars and you stretch out the meshes and you rework the hips out so that it becomes an
it
adult,
looks adult. Yeah.
yeah, then there's nothing wrong with that. I have that personal perspective because the thing is like a lot of people who exist in the world are petite. And a lot of people make petite models except for booth models. And
Yeah.
I mean, that was my Reset X, was very petite. It's a very, very, very lean of a person. They're about the same age I am. I'm 32.
Yeah.
And they're not gonna get any chunkier.
Yes.
Because like And so I have this model because it's
I can feel that
similar to my
because
own model. Yeah. Go ahead.
My in real life body are, petite, and I feel like okay, maybe there's avatars out there that is kind of similar as my body, and then when I put that concept as in like virtual reality concept TOS, that's just not gonna work because
exactly.
It looks like a kid, like literally like a child. So yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what you do is you take the body, you shape it a little bit more to match your IRL self, because the IRL self you won't have as much emaciation, like the curvature inwards of the like stomach and exposing.
Yeah. I'd say in real life, in like in real life concept of like community or what other people think, they still think that I'm like high school, like underage.
Exactly.
Anywhere I go.
It's no
so
one
it's
else's fault
it's
5'3", okay.
I was born this way, and then it's like the same concept as in like TOS stuff. Like you have to like make it a really big proportions. So
yeah. But
so I get it why.
Like you can adultify these models, and I'm perceptively fine with it, because like the reality is it's like we can't gatekeep body types that exist. It's like
that is true.
You don't have that thick mommy thighs and shit. It's like I don't have that in real life. I'm looking like a stick figure. What do you have? No, I have it in real life. Like in real life, my body is similar to this avatar, but I'm just talking about like how other people like are like that, where it's like they're petite. Like not everybody gains a massive amount of weight genetically. Like that's just not how that goes. So we have to allow.
Yeah, but welcome back, bro.
Most important is head swaps. That's more important than anything else. Is swapping with an actual adult head, not the squish chubby of a child's head. So it's important that like you have that body, but you gotta proportion it out where it doesn't look like
you
the
have
characteristics
to
we would describe it of a child, of a rounder. I forget what. It's like it's the ways we describe like kids to why we don't like just kill them. It's like what we think is cute, when we look at stuff and it's like that's cute because it's rounder and proportionally the head's bigger, the eyes and stuff like that. I forget how it's described, but in anime.
So the point is,
you can't kill kids.
The point is,
you fine.
No, I'm talking about like we have maternal instincts.
No, that's not
maternal
fine.
instincts.
Oh, okay.
So the point is, so
like why
so
do
the
we
point
like
is
puppies, you know?
that we can take from this is like you can still be in lolly avatars, but wholesome and in public worlds that might see. But behind the curtain,
yes, Jesus.
Yeah, don't use adults.
Yes. Lolly. Don't ERP
okay, why are we
honestly
dwelling on ERP and lolly avatars? Can we not dwell on this topic, please? Jesus.
Okay, wait.
I got one more point. I got one more point.
Move on.
I got one more point.
It's because of the person in the middle focus.
In ERP, experience of mine and an ERP perspective is, I think it's better to ERP in adult avatars, anyways.
Oh, okay.
Not in lollies because of like. I am saying facts. I am saying facts. Yeah, the movement and the barrier. Like, look at the proportion. Like,
fair.
Yeah,
You're in half body. What do you mean the movement's better? It's just in canned animation, anyway.
It doesn't matter it doesn't matter half body, dex, or full body. As long as it's like the proportion of adult avatars. Like, look at this.
It does matter. The proportional ratios does matter when you're trying to move the legs and trying to move the arms, even in full body.
Like bigger pussy, you know, bigger tits. I don't know, man. Like,
Yeah, one of you talk about proportional ratios, one of you talk about bigger bits. Right? I don't think someone knows what proportional ratio means.
Okay, let's go back to the safe for work stuff again.
Let's move on
So
to
wait,
another.
I got a question. So a quick question to close everything
Sure.
off. So you guys heard, we heard everything about like what's happened to ChilloutVR and what's coming to ChilloutVR.
yeah.
The question now is,
Yeah.
assuming the developers may watch this, I don't know. They're gonna question this segment, but whatever. The question is,
I can share this around, don't worry.
the question is, what features or that do you want in ChilloutVR, or like you want to improve upon, or like anything else you want to add to ChilloutVR that would be like, oh nice, I want this, now I can play the game, or just something you'd like to have in the game. So let's start with you, Frosty.
Bonfires, dodge rolls, and proper hitboxes. Oh, stamina management, yeah.
Wait, hitbox is
Soul
determined
game.
based on how big you are or how close to
No, like really
the
accurate
target.
hitboxes so I can use animations. dodge attacks.
No, just cylinder or
Yeah, not just
hitbox,
like
yeah.
capsules, yeah, fuck that.
Well, the
Yeah,
I
no,
want
just
really good
it
hitboxes.
scales. It gets bigger and well, it crunches down.
Well-
but I get what you're saying. You
No,
want
I'm-
body hitboxes.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do want body
Yeah,
hitboxes, but I'm mostly
hair
kidding, right?
hair hitboxes.
saying I want a Souls
Like
game,
just
but I don't
follow
want
the
a
outline. I think.
Souls game.
We-
Yeah.
Yeah, just follow the outline of the
It would
avatars.
just be a unlocked feature in creation. So like it follows the actual skin mesh accurately. You can do that. It's not now in the game. It just has to be whitelisted. Like you'd have to submit in the feedback page. Hey, can I get this available? Hitbox. Because there's game development stuff like that, or tools that exist already like that for other games. Like every other Unity does have that. Every other Unity game has that. So yeah, we could do that, but we just have to submit the ticket for it. To ask for them to look into adding it.
Yeah,
Snow, what do you
a
want
lot of
or like
tickets,
improve?
so they can take a look at it.
Yeah, he wants a sex dog.
more-
Already.
More friendly on. Yeah.
More friendly.
Just because. No, just
Friendly ERP.
because.
Hi, let's fuck.
Yes, just because it works.
Yeah.
Like,
It's,
but wait,
it's
why?
impossible to make it work.
Wait, friendly ERP?
Wait, what
do you
do you
mean
mean?
like what? Do you want a condom? Like what?
Okay, so no, hang on. Friendly ERP, say I meet you for the first
I
time,
guess
right?
more
Hi, my name is Frosty.
realistically, I
There's
guess.
Snow, right? And then immediately, it's because it's friendly ERP, right? We have an amicable relationship, right? Alright, let's fuck.
Yes.
So fucking dumb, Jesus.
Excuse me, sir, madam.
So just an ERP
Room
badges
24,
out.
yeah. ERP badges.
But
About Dominom was talking to Totally Wholesome about adding as part of the mod. Totally Wholesome is adding the ability to have like tags so you can see what somebody's into, and then you also like see
yes.
do they want to proceed, are they no strings attached type thing.
You
Yeah.
open up the thing, you see Vor, and you
I think I might wait for like only chill out VR dating app or something that might be existing
Oh my God.
one day.
Well,
And
It's
then
never met.
Wait,
I've
isn't
met a
the
lot
player
of people in
population like
ChilloutVR.
Yeah.
oh,
What's
okay.
the current, like-
and then
What's the current
What?
play population? Like 800-ish, 1,000, hundreds of
Yeah,
thousands?
it's about
On
that
where?
per day.
yeah.
Okay,
But
yeah,
chill, yeah.
Mhm.
interesting.
Okay.
And another one thing that I want to add, and I can't wait, or still that I really want it to happen is message calling,
Yeah.
like in the
Oh,
game.
yeah.
I really want it to happen. Like
It's not even chill.
that shit is good. Like it's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If I
even
can't,
on
like,
this
annoy
game
all
or
my
any kind of
friends
like
when they're
VR social
private,
media
then,
game is like a really good thing to add. Like it's just so
I
good.
want
to,
to
like,
call Snow one
connect to
day
people.
in VR and catch him getting fucked, and then like record and put on YouTube.
Like this.
Mute.
I mean, if you ever hear me moaning on the other side, I don't know, man. It's up to you. So
Hi, how you doing? And you just be like through. Well, I'm not gonna pretend, but wait, why don't you pretend for us? What do you sound like? Hi, Snow.
Yes, Frosty. I'm here.
I don't believe that for a moment. I 100% believe that you moan louder and higher there. Yeah.
Then whenever you guys call me,
Yeah.
whenever you guys call me, you wouldn't know if I was ERPing or if I was committing tax evasion. You wouldn't know.
What do you mean committing tax? Okay, hang on. What do you mean? What if you're committing tax evasion?
That is so specific.
No, listen. I'm not committing. I'm doing tax avoidance. But am I doing tax evasion? Who knows?
Look,
I can
all Freak is saying is that taxes are bad.
The taxes are
Taxes
bad.
are bad.
I'll expand our Nexus about that to see where that
About
voice
tax
call system
evasion?
is
Oh,
at,
okay.
or is it, right?
The voice call thing. God damn.
Taxes.
Resume does have that already, though. Neos had that a
What?
while back. Was like voice messages you would record. You'd hit
Oh yeah, I remember that.
send someone.
I thought you were gonna say Neos had tax evasion.
I mean, Neos did the tax evasion.
That's because Neos had the cryptocurrency thing.
That is true. That is true.
Texas, like,
Yeah.
all your money into crypto.
Technically, yes.
Yeah,
But it's a good thing to add as well as in like record like maybe 5 seconds of voice to send to your friend on the other instant and be like you just moan for 5 seconds and then they just heard it and if they hear it it's
like fuck you.
so
Jesus.
good to like make fun of them, you know, like trolling them.
I've sent
It's a
that
good
kind of
concept.
message.
Oh hell yeah.
But these will be live calls, so you're calling. But they'll have a message system eventually. Like all that stuff is a part of what they were trying to do a while back.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
They have a section for groups. They had that way long ago. Like way before VRChat even had the concept. They had that stuff a long time ago.
Yeah, individual messaging or voice call, group call, or message group is something good to look for. Maybe I don't know. It might seem too much at first, but
Yeah.
I think it's really good. Like for example, VRChat has group, so it's like I think it's bad for a group call, but group message is simple and like we got announcements every now and here and then if they did an event or something, you know. So it's like it's a good thing to think about. Yeah.
Well,
I guess the only thing for me in ChilloutVR I want is I guess maybe like the current as far as I'm aware, I don't know if they changed it, but the current initial world they put you in, it looks nice, but I don't think it's user friendly in a sense of where the fuck should I go, what the fuck should I do. So I think if they can change it to
tutorial
if they can if they can match VRChat or even make it better.
The
so like
tutorial.
where you immediately just pick an avatar and like you have a bunch of worlds you can just go to and there's people. I think that would be the best like user initial experience ever. Aside from that, I would like
they need a tutorial. Yeah.
I would like the physics, of course, like the ears, the tits, and squishies would be nice.
So that already is a thing. You can mess with dynamic bones without having.
Nice.
I think you just have to have a collider on your.
Collider.
But they also have they also have what is Magic Cloth, and Magic Cloth 2 is going to get integrated soon and whitelisted, which has squish bones. So squish physics, claw physics. All this stuff is pre-baked, so it's pretty efficient.
Nice.
It does all the calculations and then you plop it in. But it's basically cloth. You have like your cloaks that you move around, you switch them. They have gravity, they fall. You can change the properties and make it more rigid depending on the materials. Like I want to make this more rigid, less rigid. You can go test it out magical cloth stuff, but they have magical cloth beds with a blanket that drapes over, and you can have a collider that you put all over your body so that the blanket stays above you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so
I want
with
this to squish.
with squish physics, squish materials, you can squish cheeks on your face. You can squish other things, like if you had a little toy that's like a stress ball, you like squish it and you see your fingers
Squish or stretch. That is so good to see too. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a slime stretch ball.
check.
Yeah.
I recommend checking out Magica Claw to see what the capabilities are of it. But the other part about this is like I can buy this as a developer. I buy all these assets. I buy all these tools and stuff like that. You don't have to. I could share my thing I made or make it public. And so the bed that has Magica Cloth on it is public, and now it has stuff. And then you have public avatars that have dynamic bones or dynamic penetrator. Or if you can't find a good one that you want, you just ask me, and I'll be like, "Hey, here you go." I shove it to you like under the table. Here you go.
Actually, I got a good idea, Drake.
Yeah.
Like, if we dedicated only one episode on like just go in ChilloutVR and see what's up.
No, yeah, I mean,
and that's it.
The same stuff
Just three of us.
to avatars and props also applies to worlds. Like we can share worlds, I can transfer ownership. Those features don't exist right now because the website still needs to be updated, but they're there. You can see all the buttons and stuff. Right?
Yeah, I think.
But that's the thing. It's like.
So like okay, well, like we said our thing, but I think like the next time, like if you ever come on the podcast again, I think we should do it in ChilloutVR.
We should. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you give me your avatars,
I'm gonna play around with the what's it called? CCR? What's
CCK?
For chill out, the CCK, and then try to make a world out of that.
Yeah,
a bit different than this one, but same design. Maybe.
No, you should be able to make the world identical without any issue.
Sex
yeah,
dungeon,
we'll have a podcast.
Yeah, that's fine. That way, Snow will be distracted the whole time.
Yeah.
Molly, tell me.
Absolutely. I mean, I could find one.
Do you have links or a website, or you want to promote something? Like you got 50 people that might watch this, maybe 100. Who knows? Do that what you
I'm Mama Molly on everything. It's Mama_Molly on Twitch. That's where I mainly do stream CVR content. I'm actually holding off on CVR stuff right now because I want there to be more development of the Lua stuff. But I've always like had streams where I showed like how to convert an avatar from VRChat to CVR, and I'm fucking lazy. I don't want to have to remake animations, remake parameters, remake all that. It's like no, it's not. I just use the converter tools. You plug them in, you insert them like you do with any other package, and you just click the thing, and then you drag and drop your avatar in the little box that says this is where it goes, and then you just like click convert. It's like I like buttons. I like things that I can do everything.
Just one click a button away.
Yeah.
Check out twitch.tv/mama_Molly.
Mama Molly.
I'm happy to. If people add me or stuff, I always accept, especially in ChilloutVR. If people ever want to hang out, it's Mama_Molly is also my Discord, all lowercase. I'll tell people 100% just start off by a conversation like, hey, I want to get into chill out as the first thing, and then I can see it because there's so many scam model people or whatever. So it's like, if you don't start off with like something like that, I won't know. But if you're ever curious, I'd love to help all the time. I used to give tours into Neos all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming, especially for developers, if you like creators, if they want to get into ChilloutVR, also hit you up.
Oh, for sure. We have entire teams of developers that are 100% willing and ready to teach you everything you need to know with how the CVR way of doing things, how much simpler it is to do the same thing you normally do.
Nice. Well,
I guess I can say that
Yeah.
You guys can check out Alpha Blend Interactive Discord server, so you guys can check out any kind of updates or look at the website itself to like what kind of updates they added over time. So it's really good to see.
Or just go to ChilloutVR's like Steam page, and you can see all the updates there too, because they start posting their updates directly on their Steam
Yeah, just
page.
play ChilloutVR and then first-hand experience. Yeah.
Okay. Frosty's dying.
love the
Snow still
status
have full
reports.
of energy. I think this podcast is
No,
over. Bye bye.
I'm fading, man. I'm fucking dying. Oh wait, before we go, hi,
before we
Chill
go.
VR. If you pay us money, like $1,
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know.
Oh no! All right.
Yeah,
Shut
give
the
us
fuck
money.
I'll give
Okay,
you
bye
$1.
bye. Oh fuck.
Let's go. Okay, bye bye everyone.
Just a tip.
Oh,
I'll give you a tip.
dude,
I'll give you a
it's
big-
fucking.